Anybody on the call who don't know sloka? Om Ajnana Timirandasya. Okay, let's do that. Next class, I'll just put it on the slides. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Tasmai Namo Om Vishnupadaya
Krishnavesaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta
Swami
Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Prachamani Ishaya Sunyavadi Pachaitadashini
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya
Chaitanya
Prabhu Nityananda
Nityananda
Advaita Gadadara Shivadadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna
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 Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Rama
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 Hare
Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, all of you. So what we are going to do today is that we are going to look into the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Some of them, they will think, oh, we already know the first chapter. Why is Mataji saying it over and over again, right? Absolutely important. We have to hammer it into our brain 100, 200 times or even more than that. Then only that concept will get into our mind. Till then, we have to keep hammering. And one day we will realize, okay, we got that concept like that. Okay, so till then we have to keep revising even though we know it. So let's see how it goes. Okay, so let's look into this first chapter and see what all we can learn from chapter 1. So first I want to kind of give you an introduction to what is going to, what we are going to see, some characters who we are going to come across. So let's get an understanding of those characters. The first person is Dhritarashtra. We all know about Dhritarashtra, right? Dhritarashtra was born to Vyasadeva, and so he was born blind. Unfortunately,
Mataji, I just have a question regarding Dhritarashtra.
Yes.
So was he actually bad, or did he just do the actions he did for Duryodhana since he loved him so much?
He loved him so much. Yes, we are going to see that, Aditya.
So he wasn't actually like a very bad person.
He see, the thing is, he knew that this was wrong and he was going in the wrong direction, but he was kind of forced by the attachment of Duryodhana. I'll be talking through that in a minute, detail about Dhritarashtra's character, so you can perceive him. Okay, yeah, just hold on to it. So, and again, I will be asking, I wanted to make it clear, I will be asking questions exactly in 50 minutes. So 50 minutes from now, everybody will be given a chance and they will be asked to say something. I'll be asking a question and it will be a random person who I will pick and point, and that random person has to answer, okay? And not anybody else. I have the right to choose, and that will be again very, very random. It's not, I'm not going to tell who's going to get it, but you don't even have to raise your hands. Everybody will be given an opportunity to see if you have understood, okay? So let's listen very, very carefully, okay? All of you with eyes and ears on me. So Dhritarashtra, he was born blind. Unfortunately, he was also bereft of spiritual vision. He had 100 sons, and his one of the sons' name was Duryodhana. And they were all equally blind in terms of dharma. They didn't know what dharma was. What is dharma? Dharma means to serve Lord. What is our dharma? The material, there is material dharma and there is spiritual dharma. Our spiritual dharma is to serve Krishna, and our material dharma, what is material dharma means? Performing our varnashrama duty. What is the varnashrama duty that Duryodhana was supposed to do? He has to protect the people who he is. I mean, if he is a king, then he has to protect the citizens. And now we see Pandavas were born to Pandu. And Dhritarashtra had 100 sons. And what happened was, because of Pandu's death, Dhritarashtra happened to rule the kingdom for some time. And of course, Pandu was ruling the kingdom. Because of his death, they happened to pass it over to Dhritarashtra. And when Yudhishthira was old enough, then he wanted to take, and then he has Yudhishthira is the sons of Pandu. We all know Pandavas have 5 sons, right? Pandavas have 5 sons, and the Yudhishthira was the eldest of the 5 sons. So when Yudhishthira is old enough, then he was going to take up the kingdom of Dhritarashtra. I mean, it was temporarily given to Dhritarashtra. Because Yudhishthira was not old enough at that time. And now when Yudhishthira is old enough, then he was going to take over the kingdom. But before that, what happened was Duryodhana came into picture. Who's Duryodhana? Duryodhana is the son of Kauravas. He was the eldest of the lot. And he wanted to usurp the property, meaning take that property from Yudhishthira. So that is why the whole thing we are discussing is for that reason. He wanted to now take the kingdom from Yudhishthira. So what he did was he said, oh, let's just do one thing. Let's call Yudhishthira Pandavas. I mean, the Pandavas, because they didn't have their father, they happened to move into the kingdom of Dhritarashtra. At that time, Yudhishthira, everybody were young. And Duryodhana, he started envying the Pandavas. What does envy means? Envy means feeling some sort of, having some sort of hatred. Okay, so see, look at them, look at their powers, look at their qualities. Like that, he started to become envious. And he also didn't like the fact that Yudhishthira was going to get the kingdom. And so he started to get envious upon Duryodhana. Yudhishthira and the Pandavas in general. Specifically Bhima. Bhima was very stout and very energetic and very strong. And looking at his personality, Duryodhana was like, oh my God, this person is too terrorizing. He might even, sometimes it looks like he might even kill us. That fearful he is. So he is always fearing of Bhima. And this is what is the scenario right now. Now, a fight is ensured between both the parties at a holy place called Kurukshetra. So now we are going to discuss about the fight between Pandavas and Kauravas, okay? Because we all know the fact that Duryodhana was envious towards Pandavas and he didn't want the Pandavas to rule the kingdom. For that, what he did was he arranged for a match. He said, let's all play a gambling match, and he invited Yudhishthira to the gambling match, and Yudhishthira lost everything, including his wife Draupadi. So that was the scenario. Yudhishthira lost everything, and now they put a condition. So you have to go and stay Vanavas and come back. And they came back after some years, and they said, let's claim some property of ours. And now Duryodhana had to rightfully give them the property back, right? Whatever they have asked for. And Duryodhana said, no, I'm not going to give you any property. I'm not going to settle for anything less. Not even a pinch or blade of grass I'm going to give it to you. So let's just not go on this path of coming to an agreement on giving you a property. I'm not going to give you anything. Do whatever you want. Now, Krishna, he came as a mediator. He talked to Duryodhana, he talked to Dhritarashtra, he talked to everybody to make them understand the situation. See, you are supposed to lawfully, see, you had you all had a gambling match, they lost the gambling match, you asked them to go to the forest, they went to the forest, and now after they came back from the forest and staying in the forest, they came back and they are rightfully claiming their property. Even now you don't want to give them. What is this? This is not right at all. So let's just go on an agreement and let's just give some part of the land to them. Like that, Krishna came and told them, no, I'm not going to give anybody any piece of land. No, don't even come to any agreement with me. Like that, Duryodhana said to even Krishna, who came as a mediator. And because of this, we are having a war. Okay, now because Duryodhana was not ready to accept and go on a compromise and give any piece of land to the Pandavas. Now they were forced to go on a fight. Okay, are you all clear with me so far in the story? This is very important to understand the background, why we are why everybody is in performing a war. Why is war necessary? Like that one may question, right? This war is necessary because even though Krishna went and spoke to the Kauravas, the 100 sons of Dhritarashtra, they were not ready to agree and come to an agreement or settlement and said, no, we are not ready for giving them any piece of land. But what will the Pandavas do? Pandavas are Kshatriyas by nature. They have to do some profession, like you're all students. Without a student thing, what will you do at home? Nothing, right? I mean, everybody needs to have some sort of engagement, right? And if you don't have engagement, then it's not going to work out. So Yudhishthira had to forcefully agree to fight with the Kauravas. And this is the state of both the Pandavas and Kauravas. Pandavas, they went on a peace agreement, asked Duryodhana, but Duryodhana said, no, we are not going to come to any sort of agreement. Let's just fight. Whoever wins in the war will take over the kingdom. That is the rule. That is the final rule. Like that, they said. And now that is why we are here in the battle of Kurukshetra, observing the armies. Meaning, there are two sides, Pandavas and Kauravas. Pandavas are the virtuous group, and Kauravas, they are the not virtuous group. Okay, so we have the two parties who are here, and in between, Krishna, he asked the Pandavas wanted Krishna, even though so Krishna had two options. One is he had army, another is he said, I can give you myself. Who wants what? Like that, when they were asked, Pandavas, Arjuna immediately said, I want you only, Krishna, like that. And then the Kauravas said, oh, we'll take the army. We'll take how many our armies we have. All the armies, give it to us, Krishna, we will take it. So they were after the army, and Duryodhana was after the army, and Arjuna was after Krishna. That is why Krishna is with the Pandavas. Okay, are you all clear so far? So this is very important. If you understand this, then only you will be able to understand the whole story. Okay. So what happens was, so let's go on to the first picture here. Okay. So the first picture is showing the fact that this is the picture of Bhima. What happened with Bhima? Duryodhana, he was very much worried. His father is blind, and the kingdom was actually ruled by Pandu. And after the death of Pandu, Yudhishthira Maharaj was going to become the king. And Duryodhana thought that his blind father was quite helpless. So, Yudhishthira had to kill Bhima. Duryodhana had to kill Bhima some way or the other, because, he's acting as some sort of, he feels so fearsome. And he feels that this person might occupy the throne. And Duryodhana didn't want Bhima to occupy the throne. So he made a resolve. He took all the powers and he wanted to somehow make Bhima die. Duryodhana and his brothers, what did they do? They threw Bhima into the Ganges. Ganges, you all know river Ganges, right? And they imprisoned Arjuna and Yudhishthira. And then they seized the kingdom and started to rule it. So Duryodhana went with his brothers, and obviously, the Pandavas, they went for swimming in the Ganges. After the sports, they slept in their tents because of exertion. And Bhima had exerted himself more than others because his food was poisoned. Somebody poisoned his food. When you look at who poisoned his food, it was Duryodhana. They all went for a camp together and they played in the river Ganges. And then what happened was, one day, that particular day, Duryodhana happened to poison the food of Bhima. And when he poisoned the food of Bhima, what happened to Bhima? Bhima actually lay down on the bank of the river there itself. Duryodhana, what did he do? He just bound him like this. He tied him up like this, and then he threw him in the water. Are you all with me so far, kids? So what happened to Bhima? So Bhima is poisoned now, and he is now thrown into the water of river Ganges. After the sports, they slept. All of them slept. The evil Duryodhana, what did he do? This Duryodhana, he purposefully poisoned Bhima and threw him in the water body. And then the poisonous food, because of that, he went deep into the waters and he came across some snakes. The snakes, snakes there, which was staying in the bottom of the ocean, they happened to take the poison out of Bhima and they cured Bhima. So they were feeling so pitiful because this particular person has eaten some poisonous food, and hence it is our duty to save this person. So since he went deep into the waters, these people who are the snakes themselves, they took care of Bhima and took the poison out of Bhima. And now let's see what happened. Duryodhana, what did he think? He was feeling very happy. Oh, Bhima is gone. He is no more. Let me be happy. Like that, he started to enjoy and party. And he didn't know that Bhima got alive, right? The poisonous food, so Bhima, there was no harm because all of the poison was removed. And then they gave lot of jewels to Bhima also. Take all of these jewels also, Bhima, like that they told him. And then what happened? Bhima then returned back to the city with great joy. And Yudhishthira, they all started to inquire, where is Bhima? Where is Bhima? And then Duryodhana was like, he might have gone into the city somewhere. We don't know. We are really not aware. And Yudhishthira believed that Duryodhana had done something to Bhima. And he started to go and inquire with everybody. And then he asked his mother, do you see Bhima? Is Bhima coming? Is Bhima there? Where is he? You find him? Then all his anxious questions were got out, and everybody started to suspect that Duryodhana happened to do something to his brother. And everybody, they searched Bhima everywhere, here, there, everywhere, but nobody could find Bhima. And then what happened? They went home in sorrow. And sometime later, what happened was Bhima, very, very tiredly, he came back home. Kunti and Yudhishthira, as soon as they saw Bhima, they were like, Bhima, we were so longing to see you. What happened? Where did you go? Why are you looking so tired? Can you please tell us what happened? Like that, they started to put forth so many questions to him. And Kunti and Yudhishthira, so what happened was Bhima then explains him. See, what happened? Some food poisoning happened, because of which I got into the banks of the rivers, and there I got stronger than ever before. I became very strong because the snakes there, they started to remove the poison out of my body, and they gave me so much strength and power also. And so I think what might have happened is that Duryodhana, he seems to be a wicked and a cruel guy. He went to kill he went to kill me, because he thought that I wanted to rule the kingdom, and his ruling of the kingdom will be hampered if I started to rule the kingdom. Because of that, he even planned to kill me. So which is a very, very treacherous plot that he did. And then to this, Vidura, we all know, Vidura is also son of Vyasadeva, born to the maid servant. He's a very, very nice guy, very knowledgeable guy. And he said, just keep it to yourself. What you say is true, but don't just propagate this. For if the wicked Duryodhana, he comes to know this, his anger will start to increase, and he may start to give you more troubles. And he said to Kunti, your sons are very blessed with long life. You don't have to fear that at all. There nothing will happen to your sons. Like that, he's giving assurance to Kunti Devi. And Yudhishthira also warned Bhima and said, be silent over the matter. See, I'm saying you something, be silent about this. Don't tell this to anybody. Hereafter, we have to be very, very careful with Kauravas, and we have to protect ourselves. That is our duty. And Duryodhana, he was surprised to see Bhima came back. His jealousy and hatred increased further and further. He heaved a sigh of relief and pinned away in sorrow. Oh my God, he has come back now. Now I have to do something to him. I will make sure that I will make another plot to kill him. Like that, his brain started to work. And then, so there was a deep sorrow. Oh my God, I made so much plans. I just put so much effort to kill him, and this fellow came back again. Oh my God. Like that, he started to think to himself. So this is what happened here. Okay, this is the story of Bhima, who's caught in the rivers and the snakes removing the poison out of his body. Okay, kids. And now we all know about, so I told you about the gambling match, right? The gambling match that took place between the Pandavas and the Kauravas. Duryodhana, he wanted to involve the Pandavas in the gambling match. And they were playing a game of dice. In the game of dice, the Pandavas lost everything. They had to give themselves, they had to give Draupadi, their wife, also to the Kauravas. And they were in such a helpless situation. And they lost everything. And finally, after losing everything, they were asked to go to the forest. And when they came back from the forest, they inquired for the piece of land that was promised to be given to them. They didn't even want the kingdom. They said, forget about the kingdom. We don't even want the kingdom. Just some little bit of land is what we want. And that land also was not given to the Pandavas. Okay, this is the gambling match photo. And then we see that, as I told you, what happened in the match was that they happened to lose themselves, and they happened to lose their wife, Draupadi. Draupadi was asked to come in front of everybody And Draupadi was feeling so, I mean, that day she was not even feeling well. And when the messenger went to Draupadi and inquired of her to come to the assembly hall, she said, I'm not feeling well today. I'm not supposed to be coming. But I really can't even walk today. Like that, she was giving excuses because of her health reasons. But that messenger said that you have to definitely come. And when she did not come by herself, what happened was Dushasana, he went there and he just pulled Draupadi, like he just dragged her to the court, to the meeting hall where everybody was sitting. And they happened to disrobe Draupadi in the meeting hall. And all of them, those who were sitting on the assembly hall, they could not even speak a word, because these atrocities were done to such an extent, nobody felt daring enough to even question Duryodhana. Such was the extent. And during that time, when nobody came to rescue Draupadi, at that time she happened to pray to Lord Krishna, to ask Krishna for help. She just heartfully prayed out and called out to Lord Krishna, and Krishna, he came in the form of sari. When Dushashan was pulling the sari of disrobing Draupadi, that sari became longer and longer and longer. It just extended itself. But Krishna, appearing as sari, he protected Draupadi. That is the picture shown here. Okay, and then so this is a picture where Krishna is actually coming to the Pandavas, Kauravas, and asking them, let's just go on a peace agreement, and let's just take it easy, because why do we need a war? Instead of having a war, let's come to a peace agreement. You just give them whatever portions of land that you can. That way there will be no fight, there will be no destruction of armies, there will be no killing. So this way everybody will be happy. It's a win-win for all of us. And Duryodhana was not ready for that compromise, even though it was favoring the Kauravas, right? Kauravas were going to get whatever they want, and they're going to get little bit of share to Pandavas. Even that, the Pandavas were not ready to agree. I mean, Kauravas were not ready to agree. And because of this, the battle of Kurukshetra happened to take place. Okay, so what are the first chapter about? The first chapter is about, the first half is going to talk about Dhritarashtra's question to Sanjaya. What is the question that Dhritarashtra is going to pose to Sanjaya? We will see. And then what happens, the second part of the story is going to talk about Duryodhana is going to compare his armies. And then we are going to see what are the signs of Pandava's victory. And then Arjuna's confusion. After that, Arjuna also comes and says, I don't want to fight. Okay, so let's look into the first part. This is a very important verse of Bhagavad Gita how it starts off. So let's look into that and understand what is being talked about there. Okay. So let's look into the first verse. Dhritarashtra vacha Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre Samaveda Yuyutsavaha Mamaka Pandavasyaiva Kimakurvata Sanjaya. So what is asking? Who is asking who? Dhritarashtra is asking Sanjaya. So Sanjaya is a minister for Dhritarashtra. And so we have Sanjaya is being given a special vision by Vyasadeva. So Vyasadeva has given a special vision, even though he's not fighting in the war. It's a very important part. Kids, are you listening? We have 20 more minutes to end the session. Are you good so far?
Yes, Mataji.
Is it clear so far? Any questions? I just wanted to give a
No,
little bit
Mataji.
of...
No, Mataji.
Okay.
No, Mataji.
Okay, so are you all good so far? What had happened? What's going on with the Pandavas?
Yes.
What's going on with the Kauravas? And what is Dhritarashtra growing? I mean, I'm going to talk more about Dhritarashtra, coming back to Aditya's point, why he's doing what he's doing and what are the faults with people. I'm going to come back to it. Maybe I'll discuss through that and then come. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll discuss Aditya's question first, and then we can come into this particular verse.
Mataji?
Yeah, go ahead.
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
Why, like how you say at the assembly when the Shashan when he was pulling the robe of Draupadi. Why didn't anyone speak up?
Everybody was terrified. Nobody was very brave enough to go tackle Duryodhana at that point in time. Everybody, see the Bhishma and everybody, they were all in the kingdom of Dhritarashtra. So they were forcefully asked to support whatever Dhritarashtra was doing, right? Basically, Dhritarashtra's son, whatever they were doing, they were succumbed. I mean, they were kind of put into that situation where they couldn't do anything. And most of them, they were afraid of what was happening. And everybody was fearful. Nobody was even ready. And this shows that when nobody helps you, we know Krishna is there to help us always. At any point in time, even Gajendra's story, if you look at Gajendra, what happened to him? He was there in the, he was there, right? The elephant was there. All the she elephants went. They were all trying hard to help him, but they couldn't help him because the crocodile was holding the leg of Gajendra and it was not leaving him at all. They were fighting for 10,000s of years and nothing happened. After that, Gajendra remembered Krishna. So what we have to always remember is Krishna is there to help us, and we have to always take shelter of Krishna because he is the one for sure who could help us. Whenever we are put into problems, immediately start to think about Krishna. And
Mataji, could I share a reflection?
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Reflections can go at the end.
Okay.
Yes.
Because
if you have any question, you can ask now.
Mataji, I have a quick question.
Yes, dear. Yeah.
So, since gambling is one of the offenses, like we should not do, the four principles of religion, no gambling is one of them. So then, how did the Pandavas play gamble?
Yeah, the thing is, the Kshatriyas, they were allowed to play gambling, and whenever one Kshatriya inquires of another Kshatriya to call for a gambling match, the other Kshatriya had to agree. That is the rule. Like Yudhishthira cannot decline the offer. Being a Kshatriya, he cannot decline the offer when somebody calls him for a gambling match. You know that the Kshatriyas, it was allowed for them to gamble.
Okay, Mataji.
Yeah, good question. Mihika, is that Mihika?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, good. Okay, so let's move on then. If you don't have any further question, I'll just talk about what is wrong with each of them here. So Duryodhana, what is the scenario with him? If you look at him, he had eyes. He had a physical eyes, like he had a good set of eyes that he could see. But he was very greedy and he was envious towards Pandavas. And that is the reason why this particular fight happened, right? If you look at the character of Duryodhana, he had physical eyes, but he didn't. He had greed. What are the anarthas he had? He had greed and envy. That is why he was blinded completely, and he said, "I want to fight the war." And another thing is, he couldn't see any good in the Pandavas, even though they were so good, they were so virtuous. He was not able to see anything good in them. He just saw the bad in that person. I mean, not even bad. I mean, because of his envious nature, he was seeing everything as if it is a competition for him, and because of which he was not happy at all. He was all the time anxious, like very, very much. He was not, even though he had this kingdom, even though he had so much property, even though he had a lot of things to eat, but still he was not satisfied at all. And that is because why aren't people happy? Why aren't people satisfied? Because it is the anarthas that is bothering them. What is anartha? Anarthas means that which is not desirable. When we have anger, that is not desirable. You will not be satisfied. When you are greedy, you will not be satisfied. When you are envious, you will not be satisfied. So the basic peace that is required for a person is lost when you have the anartha in the heart. Are you all clear, kids? It's a very important concept. Everyday life, we are seeing so many things, we are meeting so many people. But when you look at them, only some of them, they will be happy and satisfied. If you look at others, they will be restless, they will be getting angry, they will be anxious about the results, and because of which they will be unhappy.
Which is, undertaken by many religious
I don't know.
Mataji,
Yeah. Can somebody unmute?
Mataji,
Yeah. Are you able to understand, kids, about Duryodhana? What is wrong with him? It is just the anarthas because of which he is not happy. Okay? It is because of that he was blinded towards Pandavas. It is because of the anarthas in his heart. Suppose if you guys are envious towards somebody, even in your own house, if you have a brother or sister, and if your sister is doing better than you, if you're feeling envious towards that person, then you will never be happy. You will get irritated all the time. Why are you doing this to me? If that person comes to you, you'll be angry at him for no reason. Angry at him or her for no reason. That is because you feel that that person is happy, I'm not happy, I have to disturb him also. Okay, that is what is Duryodhana's character here. He is completely blinded because of his anarthas. And Krishna, he personally came to him. He said, let's just go on a peace. Can you accommodate their terms? Just give them a small piece of land. And he couldn't see Krishna at all. He said, no, not at all. Not even a bit of land I'm going to give to them. So this way he was completely blinded to everything. He knows that he was not able to see what is ahead of him in the future. He just wants to destroy the Pandavas and everybody, all of their army. That was his goal. He wants to kill everybody, and that way he can rule the kingdom happily. That was his mentality. So this is because of greed. This is because of envy. This is because of not having, see, if you have knowledge, if you have some spiritual inclination, if you are able to see Krishna in your life, then you would not have had this. But even though Krishna was there, he was not able to see Krishna. Are you clear?
Greed to a certain extent leads to killing yourself, like how Duryodhana wanted. He was so greedy, and he wanted to get the kingdom so much that in the end he ended up killing himself.
Yes, that's what happened to him. He was so blinded. He was not able to see the good in others. As devotees, we have to see only good in others. We have to magnify the good. Whatever that person is having, we have to magnify. Like how we have Jagannath, right? Jagannath has such a big eyes. Jagannath always magnifies and sees devotees' good qualities. Like that, we have to magnify the good qualities of others and look into their good qualities. And when you see bad qualities in others, you should think, oh, this person is probably ignorant of Krishna consciousness. That is why he is doing this bad. Hopefully he gets into Krishna consciousness. Like that, you have to pray for that person. Okay, so now let's look into Dhritarashtra. What is happening with him? We saw about Duryodhana's character, and now let's look into Dhritarashtra and understand his character. He was physically blind. He didn't have eyes, right? He was completely blind physically. And not only blind physically, spiritually also blind. What is spiritual blind means? See, what he used to do was, he used to take instructions. Vidura used to give him some instructions. Everybody in the assembly, they used to give him nice instructions. But then, because he was attached to his son Duryodhana, he would ignore those instructions. He would say, oh, that's okay. I'm so attached to my son. Let my son do whatever he wants. He knows that is wrong. He knows it is immoral. But even then, he let him do. Let's just let him do. Okay, it's my son. Let him do it. So if your parents, if they are going to see you're doing some bad things, they will stop you from doing it. They know it is going to create enmity between you and him. But they are not going to leave you like that. If you are going on a bad track, if you are doing something really bad, they are not going to leave you like that, right? They are going to instruct you, even though you may get angry at them. Why are you saying this to me? Mom, Dad, why are you always telling this to me? Can't you be quiet? I know what I'm doing. Why are you coming and instructing me? I'm old enough. I know everything. If you say that, they are not going to agree to it because they cannot see you going in the wrong direction, right? They will come back to you again. They will instruct you. See, this is not right. At that time, you will again start shouting at them. You will again be bad, angry at them. Again, they are going to come to you because they have affection towards you. They don't want you because they know they would have gone through this. They would have been hit by the same incident. They would have been bitten. Bitten means they would have got some punishment because of doing such bad act, and because of which they know this is wrong. That is why they come to instruct you. Some people, what happens to them is they will hear from Shastras and they will start following and applying it in their life. Some people, they will listen to Shastras, but they will not follow it till it happens in their life, till they burn their fingers. Like you should not touch the fire with your hand, but you go purposefully and touch it with your hand. You know it is going to burn you, but still you touch it and see, let me see if the fire is hitting onto my hand. Like that, they will go and keep it near the fire. And some people, they will look at others and they will see, oh, this person is getting caught. Maybe this is not the right thing to do. I must also refrain from not doing it. So these are the different ways through which a person can learn. The best way the person can learn is through hearing, through Shabda Praman. Whatever Krishna says, if we start to follow it, that is the intelligent person's move. Like how and what an intelligent person will do? The intelligent person will start to hear and follow the instructions of Krishna. He will not even wait for that incident to happen to other person and learn from that other person. He will not even wait for that incident to happen on him and then learn from that. He will just immediately, oh, Krishna says we should not get angry. So I'm not going to get angry. Let me refrain completely from anger. Krishna says we have to be truthful. So let me be truthful. Krishna says we have to speak sweet words. I will just speak sweet words. This is what is a determination from an intelligent person. Intelligent person just follows the instruction of Lord Krishna. He doesn't have any question about it. He immediately starts to implement that in his life. But on the contrary, Dhritarashtra, he heard so many things from various people like Vidura giving good advices, but he ignored everything. Oh, no, I'm not going to follow that advice because my son wants to do this. I'm just going to let my son do this. Let him do the way he wants it. And this way, he started to fulfill all of his son's needs just because of the attachment he had towards him. Aditya, did it answer your question? What?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah. So it prevented him. So he started, he is spiritually blind that way. So he's blind, not only physical, but also blind spiritually because he was not paying heed to any of the instructions that anybody had to give him. And Krishna, he asked him, so Dhritarashtra, when Krishna actually revealed his universal form to the whole assembly. So when he went as a Shanti Toot, the peace messenger, what happened was Krishna asked for them to give them the piece of land that the Kauravas wanted. He did not give. Duryodhana, he said, not even one bit I'm going to give. That time Krishna revealed his universal form. Universal form is the big form of the Lord, right? We know there is thousands of hands and eyes that the Lord has, and he revealed that form to Duryodhana. And Dhritarashtra at that time, he also wanted to see Krishna. So Dhritarashtra was given a special eyes to see this universal form of Lord Krishna. And now Vyasadeva is the father of Dhritarashtra. He came to him. Do you want to see the battle, how it is going, Dhritarashtra? Do you want the eyes? And then Dhritarashtra said, no, I don't want any eyes. I'm a little bit worried about what is going to happen in the battle. I don't know what might happen to my sons. I can't see the battle with my eyes if you are going to give me. No, please don't give me the eyes. Like that, he told him. And that is why he gave the eyes to Sanjaya. Sanjaya, even though he was not fighting on the battle, he was given the eyes by Vyasadeva. Okay, so this is the background. And now, even Arjuna, he was in some sort of blindness. What is the blindness he has? Arjuna saw a lot of relatives on the Kurukshetra war battlefield. So he became blind to his responsibilities. He said, I'm not going to fight. I cannot fight with them. He found himself paralyzed, perplexed. And that is when Krishna started to give him instructions and says, why you have to fight this war? He started to give him lot of wisdom. In this way, Duryodhana was blind because he was kind of greedy, envious, and he was not looking at the good qualities of anybody. Even Arjuna was blind. Circumstantially, he was put into blindness, meaning Krishna, he's a pure devotee of the Lord. But Krishna, he thought, okay, let's just let's make Arjuna, I mean, through his Yogamaya potency, he thought that Arjuna should be bewildered and he should not fight, because he wanted to give instructions to Arjuna, and that is why he was blinded circumstantially. And then we have Dhritarashtra. He was physically blind. He was also functionally, I mean, he was also spiritually blind. And because of his attachment towards his son, Duryodhana. And that is why, even though he was going in the wrong direction, because of that attachment, because of being protective of his son, he let him do whatever adharma, he just let him to do. Okay, do it. I'm so attached to you, my dear son. All I want to use you. That way he used to embrace his son, but never worry about whatever the mistakes he was doing. He was completely blinded. Okay, these are the characters and these are the different blindness that each of them had. Blindness of Duryodhana, Dhritarashtra, and Arjuna is what we saw. Okay, kids. So this is the first verse. Dhritarashtra uvacha dharmakshetre kurukshetre samaveda yutsavaha mamaka pandavasyaiva kim akurvata sanjaya. What does this mean? Dhritarashtra is asking Sanjaya, after my sons, Mamakaha, and the sons of Pandu, assembled in the holy place of pilgrimage, Dharmakshetra at Kurukshetra, desiring to fight, what did they do? So he was asking, so if you go to a restaurant, what will you do? You will eat in the restaurant. Likewise, if you go to a battlefield, what will you do? You will fight. But Dhritarashtra, why he was asking this question? What are they doing? Because Kurukshetra is a land, holy place. In that place, he was thinking that his sons will change their minds and say, oh, we are not going to fight. Because that is a Dharmakshetra. People can change their opinions. Even bad people can turn into good people by going into that place. So he was anticipating that this particular person, I mean, Duryodhana, he will come and say, oh, I'm not going to fight. I've changed my thoughts. I've changed my opinion. He was expecting that Duryodhana was not going to fight. And hence he is asking this question, Kim Akurvata Sanjaya? What happened? What is going on in the battlefield? What happened, Sanjaya? Can you please tell me? Like that. So this is the context. And if you also look into this verse, Dhritarashtra was actually referring, he was actually partial to his sons. He's saying, Mamakaha, my sons. And then he's separating the Pandavas and talking Pandavas Shaiva. So here we can see that he is very partial towards his sons, and he considers his sons of Pandu as different sons. Instead of having them as all as one family, he is differentiating my sons and Pandu's sons. What are they up to? What are they doing in the war field? Like that he is asking. So this is again very, very important verse. It is the seed verse. There are so many things that we can talk about in this verse. Okay, so Dharmakshetra means, as I told you, it is a holy place of sacred place, and Kurukshetra is a place where battle is going to take place, and it's very important. And what is Dharma? The Dharma means to serve the Lord, right? Dharma is, what is our Dharma? There is two kinds of Dharma. One is the material Dharma, another is the spiritual Dharma. Material Dharma means to perform your Varnashrama duties. Meaning, if you are a student, you have to perform your student duties. If you are a Brahmana, you have to do your Brahmanical duties. If you are a Kshatriya, you have to do your Kshatriya duties. And then spiritual Dharma is something that the duty that you have to serve the Lord. Well, how will you serve the Lord? You can do whatever you want to serve. There are 9 processes of devotional service, right? You can follow any process and serve the Lord through that way. So this is what is material Swadharma and spiritual Swadharma means. So here, this particular sentence, Mamakaha Pandavas Chaiva, is showing the attitude of Dhritarashtra, that he was partial towards his sons and that he was differentiating the Pandavas. He was considering them as a separate family, not as one family. And then Dhritarashtra, so as I told you, he was fearing about this particular place. This particular place may have effect on your sons. Duryodhana may come and say, oh, daddy, I'm not going to go and fight in this war. I've changed my thoughts, because this place as such is a holy place and it can change anybody, right? And that is what he was anticipating. Otherwise, why would he say, Kim Akurvata Sanjaya, tell me what's going on in the war field, right? This was the reason why he was saying that. Okay, and 2 more minutes, Mihika, I'm coming back to you, okay? So now, Dhritarashtra, he wants his sons to win the battle. But he's doubtful about his sons winning the battle. He was doubtful because Pandavas are virtuous. This particular place, Dharmakshetre, may favor the Pandavas because they are virtuous, and it may not favor the Kauravas because they are not good guys. They are immoral guys. So in a family, if you have your brother and sister, if your brother is good in scoring well in the exams, and if you are not good, your parents, they may be fearful about you. They may just be worried about you. Oh, whether you will score marks or not, because you're not able to concentrate. Your mind is going here and there when you're studying. If you are like that, your parents will always be worried. On the contrary, if your sons are, if your other side on the brother is really good, they may not be worried about him. They will just let him play. They will let him do whatever he wants. Because at the end of the day, if he's getting good marks, then the parents will let him do whatever they want because they know that that person will get good marks. But on the other hand, if you're not doing well, they may just make you sit in the room for 10 hours also. Even that 10 hours, 10 minutes only your mind might focus. Nobody knows. But still, they will not allow you because they are really worried about you. And in this case, Dhritarashtra is worried about what? Dhritarashtra is worried about whether his sons might win the battle or not, because he is thinking, oh, these Pandavas are so virtuous and this Kurukshetra may favor the Pandavas because of their virtuous capabilities. And then he is also hopeful that under the influence of this holy place, the Pandavas may renounce their claim. They will say, Pandavas, oh, let the Pandavas say, I'm not going to fight. Let the Kauravas have all the land. We are just going to go away and start begging for arms. He was expecting that the Pandavas will do that. What is he expecting? He is expecting the Pandavas will go, they will just say, we are not ready to fight. We will give up fighting and we will go and start to beg arms. No problem. But we don't want to fight. This is what he was desiring. There are 4 things he desired. So first is he wanted his sons to get the kingdom. Second is he is doubtful of the victory that the Kauravas may have, because then he knows that the Pandavas are virtuous. Third thing is he is fearful what kind of effect this place will have upon his sons. And fourth thing is he is hopeful that under the holy influence, the Pandavas may change their mind and they will renounce their claim in order to avoid bloodshed. Okay, these are the 4 things. All right, so with that, we will conclude today's session, and I'm going to have 9 minutes of question and answer session. So it's going to be completely random, and it's going to be completely up to me, for me to actually ask questions to anybody. I know who all have been listening, but let's just make it interactive from now onwards. First, let's go to the questions and answers, and then I'll ask you question and answers. Mihika, go ahead, dear.
So, Mataji, I have one small question. That
yes,
why did the Kauravas and the Pandavas agree to fight on the Kurukshetra? Why not any other land?
Yes, so that is the importance of Kurukshetra. Kurukshetra is the field of Dharma, and Krishna wanted to have that particular battle there because it is again the will of the Lord, right? And that is why we are having it in Kurukshetra, according to the will of Lord Krishna.
Okay, Mataji.
Good question. Thank you, dear Mihika. Okay, Gaurangi.
Mataji, I have a question, and it's like Mahabharata is the biggest war in the world, and people these days they say that World War I or World War II is the world's biggest wars. So like my friend once told me that, you know what, that one World War I or II is the biggest. And then I said that no, there was one war previous, before that as well. And then she was like, no, there was no war before that.
No, the thing is, Gaurangi, one thing we need to understand is not everybody knows about Mahabharata. See, the thing is, everybody, whoever is into Krishna consciousness, that itself is a very rare thing. Even in your school, if you look at, hardly 1 or 2 will be into Krishna consciousness, the whole school. That is because this process of getting into bhakti is rare. And only when they have sufficient sukruti or spiritual credits will they be able to get into the process of Krishna consciousness. So till that time, we cannot discuss this subject matter with anybody because they are not going to understand. It is a waste of time. Okay, Gaurangi?
Okay, Mataji.
Yes.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, dear. Okay, any more questions or can I start to ask questions now? Okay, good. All right, let's go on. There are 19 people here, 19 kids. Everybody will be given an opportunity to answer. Okay, nobody will go like I'm not ready, or everybody will get a turn. Okay, let me ask. Okay. All right, let me pick a person first and then we can go ahead. Kushi, are you here, Kushi? Haribol? Arush?
Yes, I'm here.
Arush, are you here? Okay, good. All right. So what are some of the traits of Duryodhana?
He is greedy and envious.
Very good, very good. Why was he doing what he was doing? Wasn't he able, sorry, not you. You're good, Arush. I'm good with your answer. Next person.
Mataji can borrow an answer.
You will be given a turn. Yes, we'll be coming to you. Yeah. Pratik. Are you on, Pratik?
Yes, wait a minute. Mataji, I'm in a call.
Okay, okay, no problem. Okay, Saumya. Haribol, Saumya, are you on? Was blind. Was Duryodhana blind?
No, but he couldn't see Krishna because he didn't really believe in Krishna.
Yeah, he was able to meet Krishna. He was not able to see Krishna.
Mataji.
Yes.
Mataji, Duryodhana, he had such bad qualities in him, as he was always envious of the Pandavas. And then since the Pandavas were Krishna's devotees, that makes Krishna most mad.
Because
he was doing aparadh to his devotees.
He was doing Vaishnav aparadh.
Okay. Good point you bring. That is good. So Varun, as I told you, Charit, he was not able to see good qualities in others. He was just, he was acting very, very badly. And that is why he was not able to see Krishna also. So there are devotees and non-devotees, right? Devotees are able to see Krishna, but the non-devotees, they will look at the deity and say, this is just a stone. Why they are not able to see? Because they don't have that kind of spiritual credits to be able to see Krishna yet. Because of their, envious nature. Whenever somebody is envious to some other devotee, they are envious towards God. So that is why they are not able to see God.
So they don't really believe in God?
They are not, because they are envious towards the devotees of Lord Krishna, they are envious towards Krishna also. They want to be independent enjoyers. Whenever they want to be independent enjoyers, they will not be able to see Krishna. When you want to become the servant of the Lord, then you will be able to see Krishna.
Okay, I did not really attend the whole class.
Okay, no problem. All right, Aditya, are you on?
Mataji, after
Yes,
Aditya,
Mataji.
you can take a question of Kritika also.
Kritika?
Yeah, after Aditya, you can take Kritika. She has she's new, Mataji. She's
Oh, yeah, sure. I'll give everybody opportunity, Mataji. All 17 kids, one question.
I think she has a question, Mataji.
Oh, question. Kritika, you want to ask a question?
No, you can take, you can take Aditya first, then Kritika.
No, I don't have a question. It was an old.
Okay. All right. So, Aditya, your question now.
Yeah, bro.
Mataji,
Are you on?
Yeah.
wait, I have a question.
Okay, Pratika, I'm coming to you after Aditya.
Okay.
What was, can you tell me about Dhritarashtra's traits?
So Dhritarashtra, he was like blind, like physically and to a certain extent mentally too, because he knew he was getting advice from like everyone around him, but the attachment to Duryodhana, like he kind of just brushed it off as if it was nothing.
Correct. Because of that attachment has to come towards Krishna, so we will be doing the right. Yeah.
Mataji, he had too much attachment for the Kauravas. Everyone was like, "Oh, you have to look at it like this. You have to like be good." But then out of his attachment, he thought that like didn't matter at all.
Yeah. That is why the attachment had to go towards Krishna. When you have attachment towards Krishna, you will, based on whatever Krishna says, you will look at it from that perspective. Even though your son does it, you will see it from the views of Shastra and say, oh, my son is doing the wrong thing. I should stop him from doing it. Instead, I should let him to focus on this thing as opposed to that thing. So that is what your vision will be when you have Krishna in the center. Okay. Kartika? Are you ready?
Wait.
Mataji, I have
Pratik, you have a question. What question, dear?
So at 4 o'clock, I have another class, so I have to join and leave the class.
Okay, no problem. You attended the class, right? It's almost. I'm going to ask. I already asked you questions, so you're good.
Yes.
Kartika, are you on?
Mataji, I have a question.
Yes, I'm on, and it's called Kartika, not Kritika.
I know Kartika only. I called you, right?
Yeah, someone called me Kritika before.
Okay, no problem. So when somebody calls you like that, you can definitely let them know, and they will correct it. Okay, because you're new to the class, we don't know you, right? We are trying to get to know you. All right. What is your question? What about Arjuna? How was he blinded?
He was blinded by, I think he was blinded by the relationships of his family. He liked his family a lot, but since it was war, everyone's taking support and power from the other families, like resources and more army men. So I think he felt sad for his relatives that he's going to kill all these.
Correct. Very good. Yes. So what happened to Bhima? Anybody knows that story? What happened to him?
Mataji, I know. Mataji, Varun does.
No, Varun. Wait, we have to give chance to everybody here. Gaurangi, go ahead.
The Pandavas and Kauravas went on a camp together, and then Duryodhana had a feeling that if like Yudhishthira is going to be the king very soon, and Bhima, he's the fierce one. So first I should kill him before thinking of anything else.
Correct.
So then what he did, he poisoned his food first, then threw him in the Ganges and thought that he would be saved forever. So
wonderful. Thank you, Gaurangi. I'll have Ramachandra continue. Ramachandra and Chaitanya continue this. What happened after that? Krishna Chaitanya.
Ramachandra will go.
Okay.
So what happened is that Duryodhan was so happy. He thought that Bhima was gone forever. He was like having parties. He was like so happy.
Yeah.
And then while on the other hand, Yudhishthira and Kunti were like, where is Bhima? Where's Bhima? He hasn't returned.
Correct.
When Bhima went down into the ocean, like there were like these snakes, and they saw that Bhima was poisoned. So
Correct.
being like they were like having mercy on them and on him, and they were taking out the poison from
Correct.
Bhima.
Yes.
So Bhima felt better and came back, and then Duryodhana was like, oh no, my God.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Yes, that's the right answer. Thank you. And now, Mihika, do you want to answer
Yes.
this question?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. Kim Akurvata Sanjaya. What does that mean? Kim Akurvata. I told you, right? In the end, what? What does that mean?
So, Kim Akurvata means that what is happening.
Correct.
Like, and Sanjay he's talking to Sanjay. So, what's happening in the battlefield?
Correct. Wonderful. Wonderful. Good observation. And Nihal, are you on? Keshav, are you on? Haribol, Keshav. Okay, Keshav, are you on?
Yeah, I'm on.
Who gave the eyes to Sanjaya?
Vyasadeva.
Wonderful. Yes. Was Chaitanya, Krishna Chaitanya. Was Dhritarashtra able to see? Was he given a vision also to see the Kurukshetra battle?
No, Vyasadeva gave Sanjaya the vision. And so then he had to ask Sanjaya.
Correct. But was he asked for vision? I mean.
Yeah. So he was asked for vision, but he didn't want.
Got it. Wonderful. Good listening. Through iPhone?
Mataji?
Yes?
Can I answer why Dhritarashtra didn't want the eyes to see the war?
Okay, go ahead.
So Dhritarashtra didn't want the eyes to see the war because he thought he knew like that Duryodhana, I think, will say no, I don't want to
Yeah, you're right. He didn't want to see his sons. I mean, he was so afraid of the outcome of the battle, and that's why he didn't want to see. You're right. Charit, good job. Anybody else who wants to answer? Who hasn't answered? Kids, anybody? Did I miss anybody?
Mataji, I have a question.
Who's this?
Gaurangi.
Yeah, Gaurangi, go ahead.
I've in the Mahabharata series, I was watching that when Duryodhana like threw him into the Ganges at the bottom of the ocean, the snakes were Kunti Devi's grandfather.
Why did you never call me?
Or some like I think it was Kunti Devi's grandfather because she is like she's also like connected to snakes, sort of.
Yes. I think that's a big story. Who all were there, right? I think the serpents. I really have to dig in and see who the persons are. I can tell in the next class who they are. Okay.
Okay, Mataji.
Yeah, that's good.
I know the story of how Bhima went down. After that, I know the story.
Okay.
How he got back up and everything.
Wonderful. So let's just adjourn for today, kids. We are 7 minutes over. I don't know if we have another class or not, but we will meet in the next class next Monday. Okay. Thank you so much for attentively listening. We will have Kahoot whenever we are done with chapter 1. I will make Kahoot. And we can play Kahoot. That way we can answer all the questions. Everybody can answer all of them. Maybe in the next class also. Today I wasn't sure how. Today we have to describe so much just the background. So maybe the next class we can have Kahoot. Okay. Thank you, kids. Let's all do our prayers. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Grantraj Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you so much.